एषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहास्यसि। सम्यक् ख्यायते प्रकाश्यते वस्तुतत्त्वम् अनया इति संख्या सम्यक् ज्ञानं तस्मिन् प्रकाशमानम् आत्मतत्त्वं सांख्यं तस्मिन् करणीया बुद्धिरेषा तवाभिहिता। So they are glossing the word sankhya here first of all. सम्यक् ख्यायते प्रकाश्यते वस्तुतत्त्वम् अनया इति संख्या. So sankhya means that by which anaya the vastutattvam, the tattva of the vastu, yeah, is revealed. Prakashyate samyak rupaya, samyaktaya, perfectly, nicely. So that is sankhya. Samyak jnanam tasmin prakashmanam. So samyak jnanam tasmin. So in that sankhya, so samyak jnana into that sankhya,
full knowledge or perfect knowledge.
Yeah. Prakashmanam atma tattvam sankhyam samyak jnanam tasmin prakashmanam atma tattvam.
Prakashamanam, this is a past passive or past active participle, or sorry, present passive participle, right?
Yeah.
So Atmatattvam being known or being revealed. Or revealing Atmatattvam.
So Sankhyam, Prakashmanam Atmatattvam Sankhyam. Okay, so this Prakashmanam Atmatattvam is indicating Sankhyam or Visheshna for Sankhya. So Sankhya is that which reveals the Atmatattva. Prakashmanam Atmatattva Sankhya. Tasmin Karaniya Buddhi Esha Tava Abhigita. So in that Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Karaniya means the intelligence should be fixed like that. Esha Tava Abhihita. This is Tava Abhihita.
Abhihita means like indicated, right? Or told? Or instructed?
So this has been spoken to you. This is the meaning.
Yeah.
Abhihita. So Maya Abhihita. Like Krishna can say Maya Abhihita.
Yeah.
Esha Maya Abhihita. Evam Abhihitayam api Sankhya Buddhau Tava Chit Atma Tattvam Aparoksham Na Bhavati. Aparoksham. तर्हि अंतःकरण शुद्धि द्वारा आत्मतत्व अपरोक्षार्थम कर्मयोगे त्रिमां बुद्धिं शृणु एवं अभिहितायामपि सांख्य बुद्धौ. So this Sankhya Yoga or Sankhya Buddha means Sankhya Buddhi. So Sankhya Yoga basically, which
Yeah.
has been spoken to you. So in that, Sapmi, Tava Chet Atma Tattvam Aparoksham na Bhavati. Tava Chet. What is Tava Chet? Chet. Cheda. Tava Chet Atma Tattvam Aparoksham na Bhavati. Oh, Tava Chet.
If it is not clear, or if it
If it is
not unclear.
Atma Tattvam. So Aparoksham na Bhavati means Paroksham Bhavati. Literally. Like other way. So
Yeah, it's if it is not unclear, or if it is
yeah,
not clear.
if it is
If it
not
is
clear,
unclear is basically what he's saying.
yes. So tava chet
Yeah.
atma tattvam aparoksham na bhavati, paroksham bhavati. Anyhow,
So
so
the whole thing to this point, Peru, is this correct? He's saying even if, or if after hearing this, evam abhihitayam api, even if after hearing this, it is not clear, the understanding of Sankhya Buddhi is not clear.
so this abhihitayam and sankhya buddha is not sati sapni hai.
No, but it's in regards to that, right? Like in
Yeah,
regards to this instruction,
yes,
evam abhihitayam api. So
yes,
basically, it's like even if after hearing this,
yes. So
okay,
even if it's not perceivable by you, something like that,
yeah,
such atma tattva, tarhi then antahkarana shuddhi dwara atma tattva aparokshartham
mm,
karma yoge tu imam buddhim shinu. In that case, antahkarana shuddhi dwara, by the means of purification of the heart, antahkarana for consciousness, Atma Tattva Aparokshartham, for the perception of the Atma Tattva, for the
yeah.
comprehensibility of the Atma Tattva.
Basically, to
Karma
make
Yoga,
it clear, right?
yes, Aparokshartham means to make it clear, to understand it.
Yeah.
Karma Yoge tu imam buddhim shrinu.
Hear this
Karma
Buddhi,
Yoge.
which is in Buddhi Yoga, or which is in Karma Yoga.
So here about this buddhi or this knowledge, basically, so this knowledge in regards to Karma Yoga, shrinu.
Hmm.
यया बुद्ध्या युक्तः परमेश्वर अर्पित कर्म योगेन शुद्ध अंतःकरणः सन्. So by यया बुद्ध्या युक्तः, acquainted with such a knowledge, परमेश्वर अर्पित कर्म योगेन, and thus one will dovetail his karmas and the phala, respective phala, karma phala to Parameshwara Arpita, and by that there will be purification of the heart, Shuddha Antakaran Sun. And being in that situation, being in a situation with a purified heart, Sun, Tat Prasad Prapta, Tat Prasad Prapta Aparoksha Jnanena कर्मात्मकं बंधं प्रकर्षेण हास्यसि प्रत्यक्ष्यसि.
Prabhu,
So
is this Parameshwar Arpita Karma Yogena Shuddhantah Karanaha Sun? Is this a gloss of Yaya Buddhya Yukta?
um,
It looks like that.
yeah, no, sir. Elaboration on that point. Yaya yuktya, yaya buddhya yukta.
Mm-hmm. And
So
then like
yukta.
specifically Yaya
So if,
Buddhi.
so if we say buddhya is like Parameshwara Arpita Karma Yogena in one sense,
Mm-hmm.
Tritiya, and yukta is Shuddhanta Karana, sun.
Mm.
Like, or altogether also we can say. So yeah.
Mm.
So tat prasad prapta aparoksha jnanena. So now when the heart is purified, in that situation one receives tat prasad prapta. Tat tasya prasad. Bhagavatah prasad. Parameshwarasya prasad.
Yeah, Parameshwara
Because Parameshwara is being referred to. So, in that situation, one receives prapta, the mercy of Parameshwara. And what is that mercy? The form of mercy is aparoksha jnana. Tat prasada prapta aparoksha jnana. By that mercy, he achieves the he achieves or he assimilates the aparoksha jnana, the spiritual knowledge. And by that knowledge, karma atmakam bandham prakarshena hasyasi yakshasi, he oha tyagi. He gives up the or he prakarshena hasyasi. He completely gives up the bondage resulted by karmas.
These are Kalkis, right? Is this Kalki
Yakshasi.
2:1?
Syati Syatam Santi Syasi. Yeah, Syasi.
You will give up.
Syasi. You will give up. So it's a process because Krishna will be telling this buddhya yukta yaya partha. I mean, he will be telling buddhi yoga now on. So to Arjuna, prahasya is the future tense. That if Arjuna hears buddhi yoga now from Krishna and applies it, then he will be able to give up the karma bandhana. So then Nanu Krishyadivat Krishyadivat कर्मणां कदाचित् विघ्न बाहुल्येन फले व्यभिचारान् मंत्रादि अंग वैगुण्येन च प्रत्यवायसंभवात् उदः कर्मयोगेन कर्मबन्ध प्रहाणं आह कृष्य कृष्य is what?
Isn't it like weakness or like withering? Yeah, this is with a sha, the dental sha, isn't it? Or not dental, but sha.
This one.
Not, is it? I thought it was the other one.
It's this one only.
Oh yeah, you're right.
कृष्य कृषि भी लेखने आकर्षण जो ननु कृष्यादिवत् कर्मणां कदाचित् कर्मणां
Oh, it's like farming, huh?
Yeah, but I'm just trying to get the whole context. Nanu krishyadivat कर्मणां कदाचित् विघ्न बाहुल्येन फले व्यभिचारात् मंत्र आदि अंग वैगुण्येन मंत्र आदि अंग वैगुण्येन
Vaigunya is like uselessness.
So व्यभिचारात् फले व्यभिचारात् मंत्र आदि अंग वैगुण्येन च प्रत्यवाय संभवात्. Pratyavaya is opposite result.
Reduction. Decrease.
Opposite. कुतः कर्म योगेन कर्म बंध प्रहाणम प्रहाणम is त्यागम तत् so let's try to nanu Christian. So let's suppose or if like farming, karmanam kadachit vigna bahulina, due to many obstructions,
Yeah.
there may be vyabhichara, okay, there may be pratyavaya sambhavat in phala. There may be, one may not achieve the desired fruits or desired
Yeah.
result. Pratyavaya sambhavat phale, you know, uh, yeah, of the reactions of those karma.
Yeah. Karmanam pale.
The reason being, one is vyabhicharat because of unchaste endeavor in the karma. I mean, it's like divided, it's not vyavasayatmika buddhi. And one is mantra adi anga vaigunyena cha, which means when there are imperfections in the mantra adi anga. Now, why mantra adi vaigunyena in connection with phala? Okay, so basic point is just like in farming, if due to many obstructions, and actually Vyabhicharan, Mantradi, Anga Vaigunyena is a gloss of Vigna Bahulyena.
Yeah.
So let's first of all consider this Vigna Bahulyena, that because of many Vigna obstructions, one may not get the desired fruits. Or literally, Pratyavaya Sambhava, there is a possibility of
The
attainment of
loss of the
the
fruits.
loss or the opposite result in the attainment of the fruit or the
Yeah.
desired result of the karmas. Then kutaha, because of that kutaha karma yogena karma bandha prahanam tatra ah. Oh, I see. So now when there is a loss or a possibility of attainment of opposite result, then how kutaha karma yogena through karma yoga there can be prahana or tyaga of karma
Complete giving up
bandhana. Yeah, giving up of karma bandhana. How
by
is that
karma.
possible?
Yeah.
So now I'm getting something here.
So because
That
he's saying, how can you give up karma by doing karma, basically, right?
uh, how can you give up karma by
By doing karma, because he's saying, is it kutaha? What is it? Kutaha karma bandhanam.
karma yoga?
Kutaha karma yogena karma prahanam. Karma bandha prahanam. How can you give up the bondage of karma by karma yoga?
No, actually the question is, uh, it's the question of the potency of the execution of karma yoga.
Hmm.
That in the performance or execution of karma yoga, because there are so many obstructions there, like
Mm-hmm.
mantra adi, ityadi anga vaikunyena, there are different limbs of for performing karma, and there may be some vigunata, imperfections in the performance of all those angas.
Yeah. So is this vyabhicharat because they're flickering, because they're
Yes.
not steady, and
Mhm.
then mantradi vaigunyena. And the reason for them being unsteady is there are imperfections in the mantra, etc., the angas of karma yoga.
So yeah, so because of such obstructions, vignas, there is a possibility of not attaining the desired results, or there is a possibility of attaining the undesired results
Yeah.
or the opposite reaction. So how come such karma yoga can lead one to uh, freedom from karma bandhana when there is a
Yeah.
possibility of karma bandhana instead?
Hmm.
Pratyavaya in that sense is karma bandhana.
Yeah.
Because if one doesn't chant the mantras nicely, if one doesn't perform either of those karmas, the limbs nicely, then there is a possibility of pratyavaya, which is karma bandhana only.
Yeah, and so there's no prahanam, karma bandha prahanam.
So in that regard, Krishna is saying, neha vikrama nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate. So pratyavaya is taken from here.
Mm-hmm.
स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् इह निष्काम कर्म योगे अभिक्रमस्य प्रारंभस्य नाशः निष्फलत्वं न अस्ति. So in this nishkam karma yoga, selfless execution of prescribed actions, literally,
Yeah,
abhikramasya prarambhasya. So abhikramasya is prarambhasya.
started.
So actions which are initiated or started, they nashaha nishpalatvam na asti. For them, there is no destruction or
They'll
yeah.
always bear fruit, basically. They don't have any lack of fruit.
Yes, na
Nishpalatvam nasti.
nishpalatvam na asti. Pratyavayah cha na vidyate.
And they're
And
also
there is
not
no
lost.
loss. There is no
Mm.
loss even. Ishvara uddeshena eva vigna vaigunyadi asambhavat. And because of such karmas being indicated or indicated to Ishvara, Ishvara Uddeshana, or perform with the intention of pleasing the Ishvara,
Mm-hmm.
such such activities, such karmas, Vigna Vaikunya Adi Asambhava. There is no possibility of Vigna Vaigunya.
This is interesting because this is, Sridhar Swami also speaks very much like Srila Prabhupada, or we can say Srila Prabhupada speaks very much like Sridhar Swami,
Yeah.
because he makes karma yoga very much like bhakti. Like he says this Parameshvara Dadana, or as we were seeing earlier, Parameshvara Arpita. Karma yoga is actually offered to the Parameshvara, and he makes sure that there's no pratyavaya, because this wouldn't be the case if you were just doing karma or you were just following varnashram. You could get some bad result. But Sridhar Swami here is saying that if you take shelter of Ishvara and you do karma yoga, then nothing is bad. So and if it's like he's almost saying if you do bhakti.
Yeah. Same. So Ishvara Uddeshena Eva Vigna. Eva means certainly.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
definitely that just by performing actions for Ishvara with the aim of pleasing him, Sansiddhina Vitoshanam, then there is no possibility of any Vigna, Vaigunya, Adi.
Mm.
Kincha asya dharmasya hmm, actually if we
Mm.
see this statement, Ishvara Uddeshena Eva Vigna Vaigunya Adi Sambhavat, is a supporting statement for the previous statement.
Yeah.
Because in the previous statement, it was said, Nashaha nasti, Pratyavaya nasti, Navidyate, and thus this is a substantiating point.
Yeah, it's giving the reason.
And that's why we have a Panchami Vibhakti.
Yeah, because of the impossibility of there being a problem, or the fault of obstacles,
Mhm.
because of it being impelled by Ishvara.
Yeah. Kincha asya dharmasya swalpamapi upakramam matramapi kritam mahatah bhayat samsarat kayate rakshati.
Mm.
Prabhu, isn't
Moreover,
he talking about Nishkama Karma Yoga instead of just plain Karma Yoga?
yes, it is
Yeah,
Nishkam.
Nishkam Karma Yoga.
So Nishkama Karma Yoga is different from Bhakti Yoga, right?
Yeah, it's different. I'm just saying that it's a particular mark of Sridhar Swami. He makes all these claims about it being directed towards Parameshwara, towards Ishvara. Other schools, they'll say just Nishkam Karma Yoga means you don't have any desire at all for the fruit. But they don't say that it's dedicated to the super soul. So,
But,
and he's saying that. Go ahead.
At least all our other acharyas like Vishnu Chakravarti or Baldev Devotion, when they say Nishkam Karma Yoga, without it being offered to the Lord, there is zero fruit you will get. Anything without offer to the Lord, even Nishkam Karma Yoga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they make a clear distinction, and they don't make. Sridhar Swami is he really pushes towards it being like I didn't say it is bhakti, but it's a lot more like bhakti than anybody explains it.
But that statement you are saying only because the offering of the karma is there.
Well, he's basically what he's saying here is that you offer the action to the Parameshvara, and you do it under his instruction, and then he offers protection, and therefore there's no bad result at all. Even if you do the thing improperly, then you get protected, which isn't a normal understanding of Nishkam Karma Yoga. Normally, our understanding of Nishkam, or the understanding that most people give of Nishkam Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, is that if it's not executed right, then you don't get a proper result. And bhakti is the only thing that is different. So Sridhar Swami, he makes it very much like you should be doing bhakti, actually. It's the reason I say this is he's the only acharya that comments in this way. It's the closest to the way Srila Prabhupada has commentated on the Bhagavad Gita, especially in this section. Because the other acharya, Baladev Vidyabhushan, just says this is karma yoga, and it's not bhakti, and it doesn't have, they're just totally different things.
Right. So I'm thinking, you here also you're saying the protection is offered by Krishna rather than the Nishkam Karma Yoga. But in a 4th chapter, Krishna himself says, right, 4th or 5th chapter, that action in action in action in action. There, he clarifies it, right, that if you're not performing action, then there is no result for it. Basically, not performing action is no desire for the action.
I don't understand the point you're getting to.
So the point I'm getting to is Nishkama Karma Yoga. You are saying the result is what to say? There is no karma that's coming out of Nishkama Karma Yoga because of the protection of the Lord. That is what Sridhar Swami is saying. You are saying that, right?
Well, he's saying Ishwarod Deshenaiva Vigna Vaigunyadya Sambhavat. That's what he's saying. Because of the impossibility of the Vigna Vaigunya, etc., because of Ishvara Uddeshena. Ishvara Uddesha, because it's done on the order of the Lord. Because he's following the instructions of the Lord. So the instructions of the Lord are protecting, or because he's doing it for the Lord, that protects him from Vigna Vaigunya. And it makes it impossible. Whereas our understanding in other places of Nishkam Karma Yoga or Karma Yoga, that's not presented in the way that Sridhar Swami is presenting it, is if you mess up Karma Yoga, you get whatever result you get.
But that is Karma Yoga. For Nishkam Karma Yoga, even if you mess up, you don't get that. Yeah, with Sakama Karma Yoga only, when you have a desire, you mess up, you get into problems. But Nishkama Karma Yoga, you don't. That's what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur or others are also saying.
Means if we see the previous one, the previous commentary, he says, Yaya Buddhya Yukta Parameshwar Arpita Karma Yogena Shuddha Antakarana San.
Yeah. If you don't offer to Parameshwara, then it is not at all Nishkama Karma Yoga. Nishkama Karma Yoga, you have to offer. The Karma Arpanam is there.
Okay.
That is an anga of Karma Yoga.
Yeah, but other schools don't say that.
Because Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur questions that if Karma Yoga is Bhakti Yoga, then what is Bhakti Yoga? I think somewhere I read like that.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's saying that it is bhakti. I'm just saying he's the acharya who brings them closest together. And it leaves the precedent for Srila Prabhupada speaking the way that he speaks. Because Srila Prabhupada really doesn't address karma yoga at all. He just speaks through the Bhagavad Gita as if it's all addressing bhakti yoga. And Sridhar Swami also leans in that direction, though he's still making the distinctions because he's talking about this Shuddha Antakarana, this necessity to purify the self in order to be qualified for jnana, and the fact that there are different limbs. But it's the closest.
My understanding of
As-
Prabhupada's purport is different, Prabhuji. My understanding is Prabhupada is, he says, but in the purport he says, like that, if you do it bhakti, or this processes can be done easily with bhakti. So he explains karma yoga, and then he says, but this can be achieved easily through bhakti also, something like that.
I mean, you have to look it up, but I don't think it's an arguable point that through all of the first 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, that Prabhupada routinely uses the verses that are aimed at karma yoga to make points about bhakti yoga.
That he uses like an interpretation, dual interpretation.
He doesn't use a dual interpretation. He doesn't speak about karma yoga. He'll mean maybe one purport out of 100. It's the most outwardly criticized thing about Prabhupada's Gita.
No, I think that is misunderstood. I would say I would like to do a research on that just to show the point, because my understanding is completely different. He just uses the verses to say how this can be used in Bhakti Yoga as well, these words. And then the other places I have very clearly seen that this process can be easily achieved through Karma Yoga. No need to Bhakti Yoga. No need to go through this process like that. Because then there is the Devata.
Like I said, in 1 or 2 or 3 places, he will say that this result can be gotten through bhakti also. But in most places, he's just relating the verses to how they can be applied to bhakti yoga without making the distinction. And that leads to ambiguity if you don't understand. Now, your interpretation that is Prabhupada acknowledging without saying that this is for karma yoga and that he's just saying you can use this in bhakti yoga is a good interpretation. But Prabhupada doesn't explicitly say that when he makes the statements. And it's led to a lot of devotees being really confused about the Bhagavad Gita because of not having access to an understanding. And therefore a really weird philosophy in ISKCON around karma yoga and the idea that it is actually just bhakti yoga.
Yeah, that could be there. That is why the commentary has to be taken in line with the parampara instead of taken out of the parampara.
Which is why my original point here is that what Prabhupada did is not without precedent, because throughout this section of the Bhagavad Gita, Sridhar Swami does a similar thing. That's all I'm saying. The internal vision of it is obviously Prabhupada knows exactly what karma yoga is and what jnana yoga is and what bhakti yoga is, and Sridhar Swami as well. But they both leaned more towards just pointing to bhakti yoga. Sridhar Swami continuously says, taking shelter of the Lord, taking shelter of the Lord. It's all about that. The Lord is the one who gives the result. These things. So
I see.
I just find it interesting. But you're correct. But you understand what I'm saying? The ambiguity is there.
Right.
Because
yeah. I mean, if you don't know
it.
karma yoga, then you may get into confusion. What is karma yoga? What is bhakti yoga? Differentiation. Then you may get into confusion.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, I'm used to it now. Yeah, but it's nice.
It's not good.
No, it's okay. Yeah. किंच अस्य धर्मस्य स्वल्पमपि उपक्रममात्रमपि कृतं महतः भयात् संसारात् त्रायते रक्षति. Moreover, even the swalpamapi, how would you say swalpam?
Very small, huh?
Very small
Extremely small.
execution, or very small execution, or just very small execution
Yeah.
of of this dharma, asya dharmasya, which is nishkama karma yogasya, which is done with Ishvara Uddeshana, with the aim of satisfying Ishvara. So such dharma, kritam, when done, it saves rakshati trayate one
Mhm.
from mahatah bhayat, and that mahatah bhayat is samsara, from great fear, and that great fear is the samsara.
Mhm.
न तो काम्य कर्मवत् किंचित अंग वैगुण्यादिना नैष्कर नैष्फल्यम नैष्फल्यम, what is that, अस्य इति अर्थः,
Mhm.
नैष्फल्यम अस्य काम्य कर्मवत् किंचित अंग वैगुण्यादिना. Oh, it means न तो काम्य कर्मवत्. It's not like the execution of kamya karma. Kamya karma can be said as sakama karma.
Mhm.
So, so in sakama karma, what happens is, if there is some imperfections in the execution of the duties, kinchit anga vaigunyadina. Vaigunyadina is imperfections.
Mhm.
So it results into naishphalyam, which is uh, fruitlessness.
Yeah.
So that is in Kamya Karma. So this Nishkama Karma Yoga done with the intention or aim of pleasing the Ishvara, even if, okay, because of Ishvara Uddeshena or Ishvara Uddesha Balena, I would rather say like that.
Yeah,
Ishvara,
because of the strength of the Lord's order.
yeah, Ishvara Uddesha Balena, there is no imperfection on the part of execution of that karma, Nishkam karma. So thus there is no possibility of fruitlessness. There is no possibility of pratyavaya, no possibility of nasha, nishkalatva.
Mm.
Whereas in kama karma and execution, if something wrong goes on, and the possibility is there because it already said pratyavaya sambhavat. In the execution of sakam karma, there is always a possibility of vaigunya, and
Mm.
thus possibility of fruitlessness. But nishkam karma is not like that. Ityarth.
Mm.
कुतः इति अपेक्षायाम् उभयोः वैषम्यं, वैषम्यम् आह. कुतः इति अपेक्षायाम्
What?
उभयोः
So then, what is the difference between these two?
वैषम्यम. Vaishamyam is samata is some similarity, and Vaishamyam is difference. Yeah, Vaishamyam.
Yeah. Difference, difficulty, unevenness.
Uneven. So difference we can say.
Yeah.
So kutaha is how. How is that? So in anticipation of such a question, then differences of both is being shown. Both means
Is it Karma Yoga and Buddhi Yoga?
now Buddhi Yoga.
Or no, this is Nishkam Karma Yoga and Sakama Karma Yoga.
Hmm. Okay, let's see it. I think it will be there, but I think that's one. That's the one. Nishkam and Sakam. So व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिरेकेह पुरुरंदन बहुशाखा हिनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिना इह ईश्वर आराधन लक्षणे कर्मयोगे व्यवसायात्मिका परमेश्वर भक्त्या एव ध्रुवं दृश्यामि इति निश्चयात्मिका एव एकनिष्ठा एव बुद्धिः भवति. I think that is clear. That iha in this iha means in karma yoga. In karma yoga, which is symptomized by the worship of the Ishvara. So vyavasayatmika parameshwara bhaktya eva. So vyavasayatmika means parameshwara bhaktya eva, by the bhakti of parameshwara.
See, this is the specific place where he says it. I remember this now. He says by bhakti, so he makes an equivocation. He says that this karma yoga, if it's nishkam karma yoga, it's actually parameshwara bhakti.
Where he says, who says what?
Right here, he says parameshwara bhaktyaiva, by bhakti to the parameshwara alone.
So by bhakti to parameshwara alone, eva is alone. Dhruvam trishyami iti, I will be certainly liberated. Eva and dhruvam, like both means like the same thing.
Yeah.
But still they are there to emphasize more on that point. So trishyami, I will be liberated, I will be delivered. Iti nishchayatmika eva eknishtha eva buddhir bhavati. So by such bhakti to Ishvara, such an intelligence or such a buddhi arises in one, that I will be certainly delivered. And that is Nishchayatmika Eka Eva Nishchayatmika Eva Eknishtha Eva Buddhi. And that Buddhi is Nishchayatmika, which means Eknishtha. One pointed.
But is he still talking about karma yoga here? Because Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says this verse onwards, he talks about bhakti yoga, something like that.
It says karma yoga in his commentary, just 3 lines up.
I see.
He glosses karma yoga as having this characteristic.
Then avyavasayinam tu bahirmukhanam kaminam kamanam kamanam anantyat ananta. Is it?
Anantyad anantaha, yeah.
Anantyat anantaha. Tatra तत्रापि हि कर्मफल गुणफलादि प्रकार भेदात् कर्मफल गुणफलादि प्रकार भेदात् बहुशाखाः च बुद्धयः भवन्ति. Okay. Now avyavasayinam means bahirmukhanam, those who are averse to the Lord, to Ishvara. And they are thus kami, lusting.
They have desires, yeah.
Which means kamanam, anantyat ananta.
Because of the unlimitedness of their desires, they're called anantaha. Kamanam anantyat anantaha.
What is that there in the shloka? Avyavasayinam?
Bahu anantyascha.
Bahushakha hi anantascha.
Yeah, Boshaka Hyanantascha. So he's
Oh.
glossing Anantaha.
By this.
Kamanam Anantyat. So because of the unlimitedness of the desires, they're called Ananta.
Ananta. So basically it is Kaminam Anantam and that is glosed as Kamanam Anantyat.
Mm-hmm.
And Tatra Api, even then, he Karma Phala Guna Phaladi Prakara Bhedat. Karma Phala Guna Phaladi. Guna, which means, first of all, there are differences in the reactions of different verbs. Karma Phala and Guna Phala. The quality of different phalas, reactions.
Is it results of work and results of quality?
Now,
I
what
don't
is
know.
quality here? Guna Phaladi. Does it mean fruits?
I don't know.
उसमें भी कर्मों के फल गुणों के फल आदि प्रकार देते जाते हैं बुद्धियां बोलती it says गुणों के फल now sounds like three modes गुणों
Because it's the divisions or because of difference in the divisions, right? Prakara Vedat of Guna Phala and Karma Phala. But I don't know why Adi would be used, why he would give two and then Adi. So it makes me think it's like Karma Palanam and then Guna Paladi.
It means guna looks separate and phala looks separate then.
Yeah.
So, because of the differences of the reactions of the actions, karma phala, prakara bheda, and let's say guna phala as one word, first of all, so it means the reactions of or the fruits of the modes of nature, respective modes of nature, which is described in Gita also, like what we attain from each guna.
Yeah.
Like tamaguna resulted to pramada, alasya, ityadi. So, yeah, it makes sense that way. So, prakara bheda, bahushakha cha buddhayah bhavanti. So, in that sense, the intelligences buddhayah becomes many branched or bahushakha.
Yeah.
So basically the concept is because first of all such persons are bahirmukha, thus they are kami and they have got unlimited desires, and thus because of fulfilling unlimited desires they perform various types of karmas, actions, and all those various types of actions in different modes of nature bear different kinds of fruits or reactions. And because of such various types of reactions, according to karma, according to the modes they are in, their buddhis become diverted. Then Ishvara Aradhana Artham he nitya naimittikam karma kinchit anga vaigunyena api na nashyati. So the nitya and naimittika karma, the daily and the occasional duties, prescribed actions, are meant for the worship of the Lord. And still, but yeah, still kinchit anga vaigunyena api na nashyati. And even if there is some fault in the execution here and there, imperfections, still the reactions are not lost.
Yeah.
Nashyati. यथा शक्नुयात् तथा कुर्यात् इति हि तद् विधीयते. And it is prescribed vidhiyate that one should perform that much only which one is capable of.
as he can, that he should do. Yata shaknuyat
Yeah, yatha shaknuya
tata
तथा
kuryat.
कुर्यात् इति हि तद्विधीयते
Hmm.
न च वैगुण्यम् ईश्वर उद्देशेन एव वैगुण्यो परमात् I think वैगुण्यो परमात् why is there this dash वैगुण्यो परमात् अपरमात्
Because it's Vaigunya Uparamat, right?
oh yeah
They're
uparamat
letting you know it's they're not two separate words.
so none of Vaigunyam. In that way, there is no imperfection considered because again it's done with the aim of with the target of pleasing Ishvara and Vaigunya Uparama because there is Uparama uh,
Stopping.
cessation, stopping or cessation of imperfection.
Because it's Ishvaro Deshena.
Yes,
I
because
think here it is becoming very clear. And Prabhu, one thing is previously before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they used to have this idea, even in Ramanujacharya Sampradaya also today, that you perform your karma as a worship of the Lord, right?
Mhm.
It's only after Mahaprabhu that it became that bhakti should be free from karma jnana, the coverage of karma and jnana, and it should be pure. Before that, this was the common idea, even in Ramanuja Sampradaya as well.
Yeah, it wasn't so clear. Although I mean it was there because there's this what is that? Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchide. What's the first line? Upadhis, Nirupadi something. What is this line? Sarva Upadhi Vinirmuktam. So this is saying the same thing though. There should be no upadhis.
There should be no upadhis. But even today also the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they say, karma yoga is also worship of the Lord, and you do to worship the Lord because it is his order and you perform that.
Yeah. So they make a similar equivocation because that their whole line is based on refuting the opposite, the Advaitavad idea. Because they're telling a whole different thing.
And other thing is, it was a society where karma yoga was followed. You cannot go and ask them to give up everything, right?
Yeah, unless you're the Gaudiya Sampradaya, and then you can. And unless you're reading the Bhagavatam and in the second verse it says do that. But yeah, it's true.
then nothing tatha kamyam karma. Again, the same point. Nothing tatha kamyam karma. Agnihotram juhuyat swarga kamaha. Swarga kamaha agnihotram juhuyat.
One who wants Swarga should perform the Agnihotra.
So, Dadnendriya Kamo Juhuyat. What is that? Dadnendriya Kamo.
One who desires whatever Dhanyendriya is.
What is Dadnendriya? Dadna. Dadhan means. Oh. What is Dadhan? It's coming from Dadhi.
Yeah. It's a weird compound, huh?
Looks like.
Or is it a compound? It might be Tadna and Indriya, Kama. One who desires Indriya Kama. So one who desires the pleasure of the senses. And Tadna. What's the word? Tadnendriya Kama Juhuyat. Should sacrifice with milk, huh?
Dadna
with yogurt.
Is yogurt.
Yeah, with yogurt. But you think it's Dadna here? 3-1?
Dadna. 3-1. Dadna.
Yeah. And they're Indriya Kama, so they want the pleasure of the senses.
Interesting. Dadnendriya Kamo Juhuyat. अतः महद वैषम्यम इति भावः.
Therefore, this is the difference, the great difference between these two.
Yes. Oh, actually, the point is, uh, in the first part, the Nishkam Karma Yoga with Ishwaruddeshana, it was mentioned that one should perform them according to their capacity, Shamata. There is no hard and fast rule as such. But, and if one performs in such a way, then there is no Vaigunyam. But in Kamyam Karma, there are specific prescribed ways of doing it. So if one is aspiring for Swarga heaven, he should perform Agnihotra, and to perform Agnihotra Yajna sacrifice, he has to follow all the guidelines given in the Shastras.
And he
Similarly,
has to do it very nicely.
nicely and very accurately, 100% accurate. Otherwise, there will
Yeah.
be
No
Pratyavaya
Vaigya.
Sambhavana.
Yeah.
So this is the difference between Nishkam Karma with Ishwaruddeshana and Sakam Karma. Mahad Vaishamya Viti Bhava.
Nice.
So let's stop here and continue tomorrow. So okay, let's stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.